Hello, the Internet. My name's Laura, and this is The Law of the Prince Charming, Chapter 13.2. The next day, Thomas goes to see the Arthur. He's not sure if he will be able to get an audience with the king, but finds himself taken directly to the Arthur's study. "White Knight, what can I do for you?" the Arthur asks. He's working at his desk with stacks of perfectly neat papers and books open in front of him. "I don't want to take up your time, my king," Thomas bows. "Nonsense. You are one of my knights and like a brother to me. I will always make time for my knights," the Arthur says. "I'm afraid I need to return this sword to you." He holds out the Merlin sword. "Oh, and why is that?" "I don't believe that I'm the one who deserves it, my king. All of your knights are talented, and I just worked in the best interests of the kingdom. I don't see why I should be singled out like this." The Arthur walks around the desk to Thomas. "And that is the exact reason why I gave it to you, White Knight. I could see how selflessly you went into those fights in order to keep your fellow knights safe. You care for each and every one of them and their problems, and you worry about them over your own concerns." The Arthur pushes the Merlin sword back to Thomas. "So keep the sword, White Knight, and use it proudly. You have proved to me even now that my faith in you was not unfounded. I will move your seat at the round table." That night at dinner, Thomas finds his seat directly next to the Arthur, displacing the Lancelot, who looks less than happy about the change, as does the summoner. Thomas wonders how he's going to explain why he's even more beloved by the Arthur than before. Part of him wants to sit by his king and enjoy the attention, while another tries to think of some way to pull himself from the Arthur's good graces without disrupting the tale. The Prince of Amberridge is sitting at the table with the ladies. He had been brought out for dinner and treated as a guest, though there are soldiers standing nearby watching him. "I do have something that might be of interest to you, Prince of Amberridge. A letter from your father." The Arthur has a rolled-up paper in his hand. "Brought just this morning by Einreed delivery." "It interests me less than you might think," the Prince of Amberridge replies. "Does he beg for his son's release?" the Lancelot asks. "No," the Arthur says. "It says in rather politically tempered terms that he will not negotiate with, hold on, this is a quote, with you black-hearted, self-aggrandizing so-called knights, and that we should go ahead and kill you. I find that to be a bit insulting for him to speak of the great knights of Camelot in such a manner." The Prince of Amberridge does not look the least bit surprised. "I could have told you he'd say that. He wants your kingdom, and he's not going to let a little thing like one of his sons getting captured get in the way of that." "Do you believe, then, Prince of Amberridge, that I should go ahead and kill you?" the Arthur asks. "My dear," the Guinevere cries out, "he's still but a boy." The Arthur holds up his hand to silence her, still looking at the Prince of Amberridge. "It would probably be in your best interest to do so," the Prince of Amberridge replies. "Oh, and why is that?" "Because I'm your enemy." "That is the logical conclusion, but I won't do that. It would be senseless bloodshed." "Well, all of my opinions of you have shifted due to your generous nature. I now see that you were in the right." "What, really?" the Arthur asks. "Well, that's wonderful. That was a great deal simpler than I thought it would be." "My king, he's being sarcastic," the Lancelot says. "Oh, of course he is," the Arthur straightens. "You see, I could not harm you because my code of chivalry will not allow for it, but I can simply lock you up and throw away the key." The Prince of Amberridge shrugs. "I would expect nothing less." "However, if you swear loyalty to Camelot and myself, then I would agree to allow you to become a knight of the kingdom." "You would offer that to the enemy?" the Prince of Amberridge says. "I believe everyone deserves a second chance, and if you swear by the Fae, then how can I doubt you? Think on it if you need, but your father has abandoned you, and we will welcome you with open arms." Thomas is proud of the Arthur's offer. The Prince of Amberridge returns to his meal as the Morgana walks over, bending near her brother. "Are you sure we should be offering an enemy of our kingdom a knighthood?" "I don't see any reason not to. He's a splendid fighter. He was very skilled against that basilisk." "That's not the point. He's an enemy, and you have him sitting up here with us sharing our dinner." "It would be rude otherwise. He is royalty, after all. We can't very well have him spend all his time locked up in a cell, my sister," the Arthur smiled. "Though if you worry for your own safety, I can move him to a different seat." The Morgana looked sour for a moment. "No, that's fine. Your concern for this kingdom does you credit." "Of course, my dear brother." Thomas looks at the Morgana. She returns the smile gently before she glides back to her table. Thomas watches her for a moment before he stands, taking a square of white fabric from his tunic. He walks over to the table where the Morgana is in conversation with the Guinevere. "Lady Morgana?" Thomas says, bowing deeply. "Yes, White Knight?" she asks sweetly, though her gaze is sharp. "I would be greatly honored if you would show me your favor." He holds out the square of white fabric. A hush falls over the people nearby. Now all of their attention is on him. Thomas's eyes stay on Morgana. She looks surprised. King Arthur looks furious. The sight of your beauty gives me strength. It quells my weariness and lightens my heart, Thomas continues. That is my sister, the King Arthur says from the round table, and you will stand down. Arthur! Morgana stands, looking more intently into Thomas's eyes. Why should you be offended that this man has asked for my favor? You have just recently shown him your own favor, did you not? Thomas knows that King Arthur wants to say no, but he cannot, not so soon after he has given Thomas the Merlin sword. Morgana reaches out and takes the piece of cloth, smiling at Thomas as she brings it to her lips for a quick kiss. I do give you my favor, young knight. Will you be my champion? I will, my lady. I am glad.